Alright, here we are with another deck tech through MTGSpeculation.com. I'm looking at the 4-color rally deck. This is one of the decks that doesn't really fit in my playtesting pattern, just because this is a deck that is almost entirely reliant on a Cons or Fate card in Rally the Ancestors. So this deck, this archetype just strictly will not exist once those two sets rotate. But it's a collected company deck, and it's one of the best decks in the meta right now. So I figured I would learn how to play it pretty late to the game, but yeah. This obviously isn't a list that I would be looking to play after rotation, or an archetype that I would be looking to model my deck after. But it is still a collected company deck with value creatures, and Jace. So I'm perfectly happy to run it. Going through the list, some of the stuff that's really straightforward. 4 collected company, 4 rallies. You play the Jace. And for those of you who haven't seen the list, Sidisi's Faithful is one of the best ways to deal with Anafenza, to deal with even Siege Rhino, those types of things. Nantuko Husk is the main engine of the deck, although Eiley can function as that at this point, even though it costs mana for her to be an actual sacrifice outlet. Grim Haruspex is one of the ways that one of the cards that you pair with your sacrifice outlets to net card advantage. Zulaport Cutthroat, along with Nantuko Husk, is one of the main win conditions. You just eat all your creatures, rally them back, eat all your creatures, and deal 20 with your Cutthroats. Visionary is value card. Reflector Mage and Eiley are really the two big cards that this got from Oath. For those of you who saw my Bant Collected Company videos, this card is a superstar. It's really good in this list as well. That's why I think you see one Sidisi's Faithful shaved here, is that Reflector Mage fills that position so nicely. It doesn't have the added benefit of putting cards into your own graveyard, but this card is such an efficient answer to Anafenza, to Kalitas, all the really problematic mid-range threats that stop Rally. And then Eiley, is just another way to have a sacrifice outlet. I have not played this list, so I'm not sure how often you get up to 30 life and this is relevant. I think when this would become relevant, I guess you can start throwing creatures away and still gaining life with Cutthroat. Maybe it's just one of those hard lock type effects. It'll be interesting to see. And you can sacrifice non-token creatures too, so I guess there's some value with Catacomb Sifter as well, which is just another value card in the deck. The mana base is really strange. I'm not going to go too in depth on it, but you're running 6 of the battle lands, and I think it's running 11 fetches. I think we're on 3 Heaths, 4 Deltas, 4 Strands. Oh, and then 3 Evolving Wilds, which is kind of strange, and then 1 of each basic. So the mana base is a little bit weird. I'm a little bit nervous to try this out while recording. My sideboard is different than a lot of the lists that I looked at, simply because I don't have access to Anafenza, and I don't feel like buying her this close to rotation. I didn't play a ton of Abzan during this standard cycle. Played a lot more Jace decks, because Jace is very fun. So in place of that, I didn't really know exactly what to put in. I went back to the 4 Murderous cuts that these were running before Oath. I'm running 1 Faladar Cub, 4 Clerics for the aggressive matchups, Fleshbag Marauder for the Anafenza, and Kalitas matchups, where they're mostly playing 1 threat a turn. Fleshbag is great. 3 Duress, 1 Minister of Pain to deal with some of the token decks. And that's it. So I will see you guys in the first round.